fabric module. So we discussed about this beforehand. Be it the 9504 or the 9508 or the 9516, it is going to have the fabric modules. So we know its functions. This ASIC is to facilitate the traffic flow between the line cards majorly. That's the main function it does. So for some cases, to make use of the fullest bandwidth, you need to have all the fabric modules. You can have only up to 6 fabric modules. That is the maximum number. And there are, you can have only one also, but to have that certain bandwidth, sometimes you are required to have 4, sometimes you are required to have the fullest number of line cards. So it depends upon what is the bandwidth that you require. But how do you calculate the bandwidth? You come here. So I mentioned that every fabric module has the ASIC. The NFE is a networking forwarding engine, which is the ASIC. In our case, it is a Broadcom ASIC. There will be only one ASIC for the 9504. Okay, for one fabric module. One fabric module for Nexus 9504 will have that one ASIC chip. That one ASIC chip will have 32 pins. So it will use 8 of those traces to connect to each of those line cards. So it's happening in 9504. 9504 has 4 line cards. 32 slots from the fabric modules ASIC are going to connect to each of those line cards with 8 traces each. Everything is connecting at 8 pins. Okay. Totally 32 pins. Each trace is capable of 40 gig. Therefore, this one line card has 320 gigs with the fabric module. That's only one fabric module, right? So the highest scale is 6. So if you multiply that 320 into 6, then you get the fullest capacity. One line card has to talk to the other line cards through the fabric module. So this is how the fabric module bandwidth for the line card is calculated. Look at the 9504. The number of pins is now increased. This is 32. This is 32. Totally 64. 64 pins. What is the number of line cards? 8 line cards. What is 64 by 8? Again, I think 8. 8 8s are 64. 8 8s are is 48, huh? Let me check the next picture. The 8 8s are is 64, guys, okay? 8 8 is 64. So therefore, what happens? Each line card gets 8 traces again, but 4 pins from this NFE and 4 pins from this NFE. I'll show you that pic. See, this is a 9508 fabric module. Therefore, it has 2 ASIC. The 2 ASICs, how are they connected to each of those line cards? 8 line cards totally, correct? So 4 traces from here, 4 traces from here, totally 8 for each line card. So every line card is connected in such way that we get up to 64 pins, which is the total cumulative value of the number of pins on both the ASIC. What about the 9516? Look here. Each of them is going to have 32. Each of them is going to have 32. 32 into 4. 4 to 8. 4, 3, 12. 128 pins. How many line cards? 16 line cards. 128 by 16. This is 82, 81, 86, 8. Again 8 only. So which means it is 8. From the fabric module, 8 traces have to go to each of the line card. So if you calculate 8 into 16, I think that will become 128. 6 8s are is 48, 4, 128. So 8 traces from each of the line card must be connected to the fabric module. If it is 8 trays, then you will take 2 trays from each of the ASIC. That's how it is connected. This is how every fabric module is connected to all of those line cards and is providing the midplane function. So although the midplane is not here, it is still providing the midplane function only. So what is the number of traces per line card? 8. And what is the bandwidth for one trace? 40 gig. Therefore, it is 8 fours are 32, 320 gigs. So that's what you get for one fabric module.